Miami City, a tropical, gleaming metropolis with palm trees, beaches, Art Deco, luxury, and crime. Along with Miami Beach, it is the center of the expanding southern region of the American state of Florida. It has both a highly developed economy as well as a flourishing tourist industry. Miami Beach is a narrow island just off the mainland and Miami City. A leisure world of the young and beautiful, and of the rich and famous. In 1915, millionaire Carl Fisher had a road constructed through the island's dense and snake-infested mangrove forest, today's Lincoln Road. Some years later, the island was deforested and 500 hotels were built. The magnificent sandy beaches became a tourist paradise, and Miami Beach attracted tourists from all over the world. But then came the Black Friday of the New York Stock Exchange, followed by a world economic crisis. So Miami gradually lost its popularity and fell into oblivion. Today, Miami Beach is once again the place to be. Movie stars and various other members of the glitterati have rediscovered the island, and it now entertains a whole new generation of visitors. The Art Deco district is southern Florida's colorful shop window, the most popular district in Miami, and unique in the world. Ocean Drive is the splendid main street of the Art Deco district, and its futuristic houses are protected properties. Considering the extraordinary splendor of these tropical deco buildings, it's difficult to believe that many of these 500 properties were once in a dilapidated state of repair. There's a large variety of restaurants too, with lots of bars that provide good food for the hordes of visitors that come here. Everyone has heard of the famous street that was featured in the TV series Miami Vice. And murdered fashion designer Versace also once lived here. The colourful facades of the city's hotels shine out in the sunlight, and the popular bars, cafes and restaurants act as a magnet for tourists. The aftermath of a powerful hurricane once meant a new beginning here. Hundreds of hotels and apartment houses were built in Art Deco style. Today they blend well with the local lifestyle. At dusk, this district comes alive. It's when the high life of Miami Beach begins, and the Art Deco district becomes a mass of neon light. Miami has always been a city of rhythm. The exciting mix of several cultures becomes obvious at night, when night turns into day. The nights are warm and the windows and doors of the bars are kept wide open. Music is heard on the streets and there's no lack of entertainment here. Cruising, driving along the streets while playing loud music, is strictly forbidden, but it's still a favorite pastime with many. In recent years, the average age of the city's population has fallen to 42. This is where the city's ultra-trendy bars are located. Each night is a real adventure here, and everyone dances until sunrise. The city's Art Deco architects experimented with various designs, materials and neon, and created a colourful world that transformed night into day. In these amazing surroundings, nighttime is always busy, and those with well-toned bodies are still to be seen on their rollerblades in the wee small hours of the morning. In the past century, Miami has been transformed into an exciting metropolis. The striking skyline of downtown originated at the beginning of the 1980s. A landscape of modern skyscrapers, flamboyant luxury, and architectural splendor. The city's commercial success is highlighted by its financial center, with its huge glass palaces that sparkle in the sunlight and are illuminated at night. The city centre is at its busiest during office hours, when the air conditioning is working flat out and numerous international business transactions take place. The large variety of newspapers on sale indicates the many languages that are spoken in this city that links Latin America with commerce and trade around the world. Since 1984, the fully automatic overhead railway, the Metromover, has encircled the city centre. It's a futuristic and novel way of travelling. Parking in the city centre is extremely expensive, so the overhead railway is an efficient and economic way to travel across the city. The rails are supported by huge posts, and the carriages travel through the canyon-sized spaces between the skyscrapers. The stations look like something from another planet. The Metrodade Cultural Centre is situated downtown. Several Spanish-style buildings surround a large plaza that's decorated with colourful and contemporary works of art. The city's History Museum is also located here. It traces southern Florida's history from the Stone Age and the native Indians to the first settlers, the trade in natural sponges, and from the early boom years when Henry Flagler had the railroad constructed in this region and Julia Tuttle founded the city. Miami stood for freedom. It attracted large numbers of tourists, and soon everyone wanted to visit the Miami Riviera. They came by car, train, and later by aeroplane. The perfect dream holiday was born, and the city just grew and grew. Right up until the present day. Miami is synonymous with relaxation and sunshine. The Bayside Marketplace is ideal for shopping. It's situated in the route to Key Biscayne, and it contains more than 150 shops, cafes and restaurants. This modern open-air shopping centre located at the Yacht Harbour close to downtown is well worth a visit. Various boat trips also go from here. Numerous street performers provide the entertainment, and everyone takes in the holiday atmosphere. A trip around the harbour is a must, and there's always a chance of a glimpse of the sailing ship on which Marlon Brando starred in Mutiny on the Bounty. The boat travels past the new harbour districts and huge residential complexes that are not open to the general public. The Port of Miami is the busiest cruise ship harbour in the world. The finest luxury liners embark from here to the Caribbean. Star Island is the name of a small island that's situated just off Miami Beach. It's accessible by car across the MacArthur Causeway. It's a place of tranquil exclusivity. This is the home of the rich and famous. Each villa is located on the water's edge, and impressive yachts lie at anchor at the front door. The tourist guides usually know who owns each property, but in recent years they've changed hands quite frequently. At the end of the tour, we return to the real world of crowded city life. Coral Gables was built in the 1920s and was designed by architect George Merrick. In flamboyant Southern European style, as was the Venetian pool that was used as a tropical swimming pool for the very rich. The Biltmore Hotel, whose tower is a replica of the Giralda in Seville, was also designed by Merrick. It's popular with politicians, artists, and wealthy businessmen. Miami's most attractive district impresses with its cultivated and pleasant atmosphere, for which it is well known. Little Havana is not situated in Cuba, but close to Coral Gables. This is the Cuban heart of the city, in which exiled Cubans smoke their cigars and play dominoes. The Fairchild Tropical Garden is situated in Biscayne Bay. It's one of the largest botanical gardens in America, and is to be found in the Matheson-Hammond Park. Strange trees and bushes, exotic flowers, an authentic rainforest, and unusual wildlife and fruit. It's a natural paradise, a well-laid-out park complex that's yet another feature of this remarkable metropolis. It covers more than 30 acres. It also contains some fine gardens that were created in what was originally a swamp. Tiny trains are available to take visitors to the park's various attractions. The park's artificial lakes are linked by small watercourses. They form a border between the various landscapes of this fascinating park. Coconut Grove originated earlier than Miami and later became part of the city. The first immigrants from the Bahamas settled here, and they were soon followed by various folk from all over the world. With its 70 rooms, Vizcaya Castle was built as an extravagant winter residence according to Italian Renaissance design. It was built in 1916 in Biscayne Bay. Stone busts and figures, fountains, water basins and pavilions decorate this fairy tale-like garden. A manufacturer of agricultural machinery, James Deering, had this enchanting castle built during the First World War. It is believed to have cost $15 million. Another 4 hectares of gardens of both French and Italian design complete this impressive property. Wealthy Americans couldn't resist European architecture. Deering decorated his villa, as he referred to the castle, with magnificent antiques and amazing works of art. It also contained a small harbour. Its landing stage is reminiscent of a ship made out of stone. It's rumoured that Deering hid his drink here before Prohibition. More than 1,000 workers and artists worked for 4 years on this fascinating masterpiece of Italian architecture, classical European design on American soil. Since the 1950s, Virginia Key has been the home of the Miami Seaquarium, a marvelous world of marine life. The Seaquarium soon became world famous due to the incredible performances of its marine life. The dolphin quickly learns new tricks and certainly seems to enjoy showing them off. Part of the TV series Flipper was filmed here. Injured seals, manatees and sea turtles are well cared for in the park, and its various exhibitions are most informative. But it is the performances that attract the crowds. Seals, whales and dolphins are natural-born performers. The Seaquarium is well worth a visit. The Everglades, a vast expanse of freshwater swamps that cover southern Florida and located 50 kilometers from Miami. Throughout the year, the majority of the 6,000 square kilometer national park is covered with the slow-flowing waters of the Okeechobee River. Small tree-covered islands, known as hardwood hammocks, contain a large variety of tropical vegetation. Wide roads on dams cross this grass lake. Apart from the waters of Lake Okeechobee, heavy rainstorms also contribute to the extensive swampland that is predominantly covered with sawgrass. The river is relatively calm most of the time. Though it's only 15 centimeters deep, its flooded area is approximately 80 kilometers wide. For several rare creatures that were once hunted almost to extinction, the swamp represents a safe and natural haven. The national park contains a total of 120 species of tree, but there is more to the Everglades than impressive figures. Imperceptibly, the Grass River travels almost 160 kilometers southwards until it flows into Florida Bay and the Gulf of Mexico. However, the ecology of the Everglades is quite fragile. Even the smallest deviation could spell disaster. The Miccosukee Indians were forced to hide in the almost inaccessible areas of the swampland following the final Seminole War in the middle of the 19th century. Within their tropical surroundings, the Indians built several settlements and survived by way of agriculture and hunting, in competition with the alligators. But today, they make their living by making souvenirs. Florida's native Indians originated from 300 courageous Seminole Indians that escaped from the US government and fled into the Everglades. Ed Leedskainen, an immigrant from Latvia, created this unique work of art made out of natural materials, the world-famous Coral Castle. He built it himself of coral limestone. With strange furniture, unusual rooms, and a bizarre garden, it has been open to the public since 1925. The Florida Keys are a group of 31 coral islands that extend from Miami on the southern point of Florida to the Caribbean. The first and largest is Key Largo, made famous by the Hollywood movie. It starred Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, who survived a hurricane here, a region well known for its savage storms. The Overseas Highway travels across 43 bridges and past numerous turquoise blue bays in a southerly direction. A journey on this highway is quite an experience. Finally, we arrive at the last island and the end of the tour, Key West. A fascinating and inspiring place for creative people. And of course, tourists. Over 1 million of them come here each year, and they're now an indelible part of the scenery. Tourist trains and buses travel across the 5-kilometer-long island to the southernmost point of the US landmass. Key West has a dramatic history. It was once owned by both the Spanish and the English. A railroad was also built here. This region prospered due to its sponge industry and the manufacture of cigars, as well as the salvage gained from numerous shipwrecks. However, in 1930, Key West suddenly became bankrupt. Its houses and gardens gradually deteriorated until various hippies and artists rediscovered the island, plus a number of philosophers and scholars. Now the villas of both Truman and Hemingway have been turned into museums that are open to the public. Cruise ships anchor at the harbour, and fishing boats are available for hire. This region is a melting pot of immigrants from Latin America and the Caribbean. Miami, a lively metropolis on the edge of the Everglades and the Florida Keys. A unique American cocktail of glamour, flamboyance, and harsh reality.